perfect distraction for the way you took the idea that I had of it.
Hey guys, KiwiSylveon, and welcome to Seduce Me 2, The Demon War. Now we did Sam, then we did James, and now we're going after Erik.
Hold on there!
Shut up, Kay.
Before you start the game,
Yes, I know.
Oh, you do know this is Erik's route, right?
Yep.
You know, the second oldest incubus that calls you princess and is seductive.
Yep, I know.
Oh, awesome! Alright then. Erik's a nice guy once you see under his place anyway.
Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
Huh? What did I forget?
Whoa, get back.
Huh? Oh, thank you.
A sweet lullaby, one you would hear when you were Wow, great start, me. A sweet lullaby, one you would hear as you were rocked in your mother's arms as a child. I could not help but adore such melodies with every ounce of my being, smiling whenever one would play for me. It was only fitting that I would enjoy my dreams with the sound of one playing in my head. My slumber was calm and peaceful as a sweet tune echoed in the abyss of my subconscious. I didn't know why, but I relished that tune that night. Strange, really, how a melody to calm any storm running through your heart. My storm was my engagement to Erik, my demon soulmate. Yes, he was my soulmate, my prince. At the same time, he was indeed a demon. I adored him with every ounce of my being, and I was about to be married to him in the weeks ahead. I couldn't have been more nervous and excited about the whole ordeal. Still, that lullaby that floated in my dreams kept me calm and at peace. I wondered if the singing music could soothe an actual child. Bad, Heidi, bad. A child's laughter broke me from my peace, causing me to slowly open my eyes and awaken from my slumber. My eyes focused on the ceiling as I tried to figure out what the sound was. Was it part of my dream? It was effective enough to wake me up. I rose from bed, looking around the room in confusion. Why had I heard a child's laugh, and how did it wake me up? It was strange to say at the very least. A child's voice? However, before I could contemplate about further, a slight dip in the bed at my side made me gasp softly in surprise. I looked to my side to see Erik still sound asleep beside me. He looked so peaceful and happy, like he was absorbed in a joyful dream of his own. I couldn't help but smile at the sight before leaning down and kissing his forehead. He shifted slightly, mumbling my name. Like I said, it's Heidi. I giggled softly. He was just too adorable for words. I truly loved him with all of my heart. I love you. Now, Heidi was like the little preppy girl, but now she's like mature. Plus, I don't want to try to strain my voice because I'm trying to fight a cold. Still, despite wanting to stay in bed a little longer with the man of my dreams, the child's laughter ushered me to slowly creep out of bed and leave the room to find out where it come from. Turning on the lights in the lobby, I looked around at the main part of the mansion to find where the laughter had come from. I heard the laughter trail off, as if the voice itself was moving and guiding me to where it wanted me to go. I maintained pursuit, not wanting to lose track of it. Any normal person would have been creeped out. I, however, was brave enough to figure out what was going on by myself. Yeah, brave. Let's keep it that way. I was led to my grandfather's office. It was his place of work, as well as his sanctuary for his magic study. I knew that he studied magic and had come to accept it during my time with Erik and his brothers. Still, it was something I was curious about. The lights were on, but the laughter seemed to have faded away as I entered the room. Was I not in the right place? As I stepped further into the room, I found a sense of nostalgia. despite only ever finding the room after my grandfather's passing. Something about this place made me feel warm and happy, like I belonged here. This is where my grandfather imagined his greatest toys and made them come to life. It was here where he studied endlessly about the demon world and demon magic. I felt like I was stepping into a museum of history. Thinking about it, I began to wonder what my grandfather would think if he knew that I was going to marry one of the incubi he had brought into the human world. I knew he had been the one to do it. Damien confessed to me when Erik proposed. Why, Damien? Why only Damien? Why didn't the other boys tell you? Like, oh yeah, by the way, your grandfather brought us here. It was a bit interesting to think about how he would have reacted. Would he be proud? Would he be disappointed? I could never know. I was broken on my thoughts, however, as I heard a click of a lock unlatching echoed through the room. I turned my head toward the sound, pinning the origin on one of the nearby drawers. Why did it unlock on its own? I was a little nervous as to why it had done that. Late. Go for it. I was indeed my grandfather's granddaughter. I felt my curiosity take control of my body and guide me toward the drawer. Oh, there goes my internet, but I don't need internet to record. Sliding it open, I saw two books neatly placed in the drawer, covered with a thin layer of dust. One was obviously my grandfather's magic book, and the other must have been his journal. I lifted them both up and examined them, gingerly wiping the dust off of them. I wanted to read a bit more about each of them, but I wasn't sure which one to open first. Magic book. I opened the magic book first, wanting to explore its contents before seeing grandfather's notes. Maybe I'd learned something. Yeah, Heidi, you learned something. Maybe. As I opened it, I was surprised to see the first couple of pages were completely blank. What the? I continued to flip through the pages, only to find more blank pages. Was this book really not a book, but a notebook of some sort? How many times was book said of that? Probably three. Yeah, it was three. I stared at the pages, unsure of what its purpose was. As I gazed onto the blank sheets, however, they began to very slowly fill up with words and images. What? The images that formed on the pages looked to be painted with brushstrokes, while the wording was elegantly curved so I could read clearly. The top of the first page, however, had words in simple lettering. Spirit. Why was the book wanting to show me the information on spirits? The laughter that drove me to the room sounded like a child. Was it from a spirit? I read onward, curious as to why the book was showing me this. Spirits were categorized by their origins. Angels and devils could never be spirits, only reborn through a cycle to become angels and devils once again. Poor Malix. That's my first thought. Poor Malix, he's stuck. Human spirits were either brought to heaven, purgatory, or hell, depending on what they had done during their course of lives. If they were kind and good, they were gifted entry to the heaven. If they were evil and cruel, they were sent to hell. And probably tortured by Malix. Sorry, I can't get over Malix. He's awesome. I mean, he's not awesome, but he's good. I mean, obviously. I was surprised. Did this make Christianity legitimate? It didn't mention God, so I wasn't entirely sure. I wanted to close the book, but my curiosity led me to read on. Demons, on the other hand, were either sent to purgatory or reincarnated into a new demon. Demons could never be human. Lies! Lies! However, humans and demons shared one thing in common. They both could also end up not being sent anywhere. Sometimes a spirit could be trapped in either world. forever doomed to wander until something is fulfilled. Ghosts existed too? That was crazy! And yet it made sense. Maybe those TV shows that feature ghost encounters actually had merit. Hey, I'm personally into the whole ghost thing. I love ghost things and all that fun stuff. Because I'm actually a sensitive toward those. Like, I can feel, but I can't really do anything else. It's kind of a double-edged sword. The idea of seeing a ghost was a bit unbelievable. Sure, it was surreal enough meeting demons and a devil, but ghosts seemed to be a bit more realistic in a way. Regardless of who you were in the human world, you knew about ghosts. Not a lot of people knew about demons. The fact that demons could also be spirits boggled my mind as well. Was it really possible to meet a demon spirit? The child's laughter reappeared, softly flowing through the air and making me turn toward the door. I quickly followed it, leaving the room and returned to the lobby. No, the book! Oh, give me back the book. If this was Allie, she'd be like, give me a book. I'm bringing the book with me. I'm gonna chase the laughter and read a book. Ow. Is anyone there? As I turned to the stairs, I could hardly believe my eyes. Floating arm, barely the size of my head, was floating down the stairs and toward the back doors. I gripped the railing and stared, not believing what I was seeing. Was this really happening? What was it even? A ghost? A spirit? Some illusion meant to trick me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Still, it practically called for me to tail behind it. I continued to follow it. It seemed to want me to anyway. Was this a game? Let's play a game, Heidi. It led me to the backyard, where it simply floated in the air near the gazebo. I stayed in the doorway, unsure of actually stepping out of the house to meet with it. It didn't move, so I could only assume it accepted my hesitation. Hello?
Hi.
The orb gently spun around itself in a circle, almost like a happy child. For some reason, it made me feel really happy seeing it, despite it being a simple floating orb. Yeah, nothing crazy about this. No. No, Heidi, nothing insane going on. It seemed friendly enough, so I stepped out into the backyard and slowly made my way towards it. It gently bobbed up and down as if it was waiting for me to approach. I stopped a couple of feet away from it, not wanting to get too close in case it was a trick. Hi there.
Hi. What's your name?
My name? Oh, it's Heidi.
Wow, that's a pretty name.
That's what Erik said in the first game, if you remember, technically. I mean, it's in the same line as what he said. He said lovely name, but same thing. Thank you. Who are you?
Oh, I'm no one. I don't have a name.
You don't have a name?
No, I wasn't able to get one.
Mm,
But that's okay. I'll get one soon.
yay! The orb, whatever it was, had to be a spirit of some child. Human? I didn't know. I wasn't sure. All I knew was how sweet and innocent it sounded. The child's voice was pulling at my heartstrings in all the right ways. The herb twirled around again and with a small laugh.
Let's play together.
Oh, I mean, what would we play? I almost couldn't believe the words coming out of my mouth. Was I really okay with playing games with a spirit? I mean, it was friendly, yes, but it was a spirit. What was I doing out in the middle of the night with it was another question I let go off and fade away in my head as I stared at the orb. My heart felt fuzzy and warm enough to ignore the doubt niggling in at my brain. The orb dipped and spun around my body, making me giggle and try to follow it. As it circled back to where it used to be and was bounced in the air happily.
Come on, let's dance.
Are you Sam's baby? Are you this nice girl version of Sam? I began to dance around the orb as it slowly moved gracefully around my form. In my head, a song began to play, and I had fun weaving and swaying with the orb. I felt light and happy, even though a part of my mind was questioning what I was doing. Part of your mind? Part? With me, I'd be like, what the fuck? And I just hit my mic. Sorry about that. I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I insane? Yeah, I am insane. Why was I doing this? Why was I so accepting of the spirit? My body was moving on its own, but I was enjoying every minute of it. The orb followed along, matching each sway of it with one of its own. Soft laughter echoed from it once in a while, after every couple of steps I took. It seemed to enjoy my company, which in turn somehow made me happy.
Princess?
Oh shit. The orb gasped and hid behind me as I stopped dancing. I turned to quickly see Erik standing by the doorframe with a confused but tired look on his face. Erik?
What are you doing out here, love?
I blushed, rubbing my hands together behind my back in embarrassment. I must have looked like a fool, dancing in the yard in the middle of the night. Yeah, just a little bit of a fool. I turned my head to look at the orb, but gasped in surprise when I realized that it had disappeared. What? Huh?
What's wrong?
I was beyond lost and confused. What was happening? What had just happened? I turned back to Erik to see him walking towards me. I crossed my arms, realizing how cold the night air was, and smiled meekly at Erik. I just wanted to get some fresh air, that's all.
While dancing by yourself?
Shit. I stared at Erik, not sure of what he meant. If he was watching, he would have seen the spirit dancing with me. Tell him, duh. I always tell Erik. Erik is bae. I mean, not as bae as Sam and James, but he's up there. You didn't see the orb that was dancing with me?
Huh? Orb?
Erik raised an eyebrow, obviously not understanding what I meant. Did he really not see it? It's true! There was a spirit here and that looked like an orb, and I was dancing with it, not by myself. I knew I wasn't making sense. He didn't seem to believe me, so I didn't want to lie to him. He was going to be my husband soon, so we had to trust each other. If my reason sounded stupid, fine, but at least it was the truth. Erik smiled and reached toward me before petting my head.
Did you have fun then?
Wait, he really did believe me? I wasn't entirely sure if he did, but from the look he gave me, he was willing to accept my answer either way. Erik gently reached down and took one of my hands, placing his other hand on my waist. I looked up to him to see his lips curve into a small playful smirk.
Would you mind if I danced with you then, princess?
Yes, Erik, please. Make it seem like I'm not insane. I mean, I just sounded like I'm insane, but please. My face turned red at his question, but I smiled and nodded. I liked dancing with him. I tightened my hand over Erik, straightening up and leaning against his chest, ready to dance. Erik chuckled softly before leading me into a slow but elegant waltz around the backyard. Felt like I needed to thank that spirit later for giving me yet another wonderful memory with Erik. He led me around the backyard as if we were at a real ball. Aww, he's so sweet. The moon served as a brilliant crystal chandelier, and the wind became our music. This is really musical air. Eventually, however, we had to go back inside. The night was cold, and it was very light. I didn't want the night to end, though. Naughty alley. Allie. Wow, my brain can't get anybody straight today. Watching Erik as we walked up the stairs to my bedroom, my heart began to flutter even more, and a soft heat began to burn in my core. He was not only charming, but he was handsome and definitely knew what buttons to press to make me feel amazing. It didn't matter that he was an incubus. I had really fallen in love with him and was both romantically and sexually attracted to him. So, did I really want to pursue my desires right now? We did just stop dancing. And of course I get cold. Go for it. Get the holy water, everybody. Get anything that you have to ward off the smut. The burning in my core wasn't just going to go away. As Erik and I approached our room, I quickly pulled his arm and turned him around to face me. I can't speak when I'm smiling.
What?
Before he could finish his sentence, I jumped up and wrapped my arms and legs around him, kissing him deeply. Instinctively, he circled his arms around me to support me, but he stared in shock at my eagerness. Within seconds, he melted into a kiss and panted against my lips, making me moan in reply at the sound. He tightened his grip around me as he walked backwards toward the bed. When his legs hit the side of the mattress, he sat down and allowed his hands to roam my back. Ah, such a gentleman. He never roams unless he's sitting. My brain's going somewhere else. I pulled away from the kiss ever so slowly, enjoying every moment that I was still connected to his lips before letting out a small sigh. I was pretty sure I had made myself clear, but I gave him a softly spoken demand. I don't want to go to bed yet. I don't want to go to bed yet. Erik stared up at me before licking his lips and slowly running his hands under my shirt and up my back. Dingo shot up my spine as his fingers ran over my bare skin, a shuddery moan escaping my lips.
As my princess commands.
Oh, fuck that voice. Christopher Escalante, you beautiful, beautiful man. Your voice is perfect for him. If you didn't know, Christopher Escalante voices Erik, and he does the music. So, he is very talented. I felt Erik gently lift my shirt up, and I lifted my arms to help him fully remove it from my body before he tossed it to the side. Bye, shirt. You won't be seen until probably the next morning or somewhere. The cool air hitting my skin made me shudder as Erik pulled me back in for another heated kiss. Damn his hands for memorizing my body. He knew what spots to caress, making me buck my hips against his and tighten my hold on him. When I felt his smirk against my mouth, I softly bit onto his lower lip, telling him silently not to play with me. I felt the warm sensation of his enthrallment invade my body, causing me to cuddle closer against his chest and softly grind my hips against his and knee. His enthrallment was part of our foreplay, adding 10 times more pleasure to our sex. Good for you. I want that. I want that in my life. I want that love. I knew that he poured every ounce of his love for me into our lovemaking. Every time we had sex was just another confession of true love between us. It wasn't just to feed hunger and desire. It became one of many ways we showed our love to each other. Aww. It was only a benefit that he was an incubus, a natural master of sex. Every touch made me tremble, and every kiss on my skin made me swoon and melt in his arms. He knew how to make me moan, how to make me crave him, how to make me shiver with ecstasy. I hadn't been surprised to learn I was his first and his only with how talented he was. Yeah, apparently all the boys are virgins in the first. So, whoever you bang, you're the first, so. Way to go, you. Soon, it wasn't just my shirt that was removed from my body. Every article of clothing he and I wore ended up scattered throughout the room, unnoticed and uncared for. I could see the shirt going, "Why me?" Or the rest of Eric's going, "Oh, why me?" The only thing we cared about was each other and the pleasure we gave each other in our bed. We made sweet and passionate love, rocking to the rhythm of our hearts and our desire for each other. Every moan I made, he matched in kind. Every breath I took, Eric found a way to make it heavier and hotter. My nails and fingers dug into his shoulders and back in pure ecstasy as he continued to drive me into me over and over with his passion and love, pulling me higher and higher toward my limit. I could only tighten my legs around him, pull him into more heated kisses, moan against his lips in desire. When we both apexed, that's one way to say you came. It was a blissful and fiery ride toward a peaceful, loving wave washing over both of our bodies. Well, I can't read. Lost in my pleasure, I could only cuddle into Eric's arms as he wrapped them around me and pulled me against his chest. His feather-like kisses peppered over my forehead, making me smile.
Good night, my princess. I love you.
I love you too, Eric. I could only close my eyes and relish the warmth Eric gave me as I let my mind escape into the dreamland. To my surprise, the child didn't return. I was a bit saddened, but I didn't let my thoughts linger on it any longer. I had a peaceful dream with Eric wrapped around me all through the remainder of the night. As the morning came, however, the other incubi essentially kidnapped their brother. Despite my minor protest, knowing that we had work to do on the wedding, the brothers were relentless.
We're just stealing him for a bit. We'll return him later.
Damien's like, I get to steal my brother. I'm stealing my brother. Sam's like, why the fuck am I here? Don't worry, Sam. I'm sure Violet will make you happy again. Same, and I love Damien's face. He's like, I get to get away with this. And James is just like, yeah, we're stealing my brother. Sorry. but we have to.
Everything will be all right. You can finish working on your dress while we keep him out of the house.
Sam's face has not changed. It's like, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys. Aw, Damien's still smiling. He's so cute. And James is smiling. Everyone's smiling except, of course, Sam. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but...
You could survive a day without your love slave. You're marrying him, after all. It's not like he'll be gone forever.
Sam, I love you and all, but that's a bit over the top. He's not a love slave. We're equal slaves. I think Damien's like, Sam, she's worried that she might not get to fuck him tonight. Oh. No, I can't, Sam. You dick. Violet needs to work on your language.
Everything will be all right, Princess, I promise. As soon as we're done with whatever they want to do, then I'll come straight home.
Now Matthew's the only one that stop smiling. He's just like, okay. I love you. I could barely make out him saying I love you too as he was dragged away by his brothers. As the front door closed, I could hear Eric being thrown over someone's shoulders. Probably Sam's. Damn you, Sam. Yeah, I could see him going, whoop, up we go. I sighed before looking around the mansion. Since I was indeed alone, I had the chance to try and find the spirit again. Why had it run away the first time? I quickly rushed to the backyard, looking around it. It was much brighter, yes, but perhaps the spirit was still there? Sorry, I have to get a drink. That's much better. Despite not being able to find it, I scoured the entire mansion in hopes of meeting the orb again. It almost became a hide and seek. Almost became a game of hide and seek, only I didn't know if this orb was hiding or was gone. After a straight hour of looking around, I gave up. The orb was nowhere to be found, and I was certain I wouldn't meet it again. I could only let out a sigh at the thought, but I shook my head to forget about it at last. It had given me a moment with my love, so I was grateful. I went back to my room and flopped onto my bed, not really sure what to do. I could have organized what I was going to wear with my dress, but I really didn't want to pull my dress out of the garment bag it was in. I would love to. I know that's completely untrue with my Heidi. She would immediately do that. She would make sure everything was to a T. But I can understand. Staring at the ceiling, I felt my eyelids slowly getting heavy, and soon I was letting my sudden drowsiness take hold of me. What was happening? Why did I feel like sleeping? It was close to noon. Or was it past noon? I somehow couldn't remember anymore. I allowed myself to fall asleep, blaming the search and the wedding stress that lingered in my mind for tiring me out. Yeah, go with that. My body floated in the darkness, met once again by a soft and peaceful lullaby. This nap was perfect, and I definitely deserved it. My body felt comfortable, and my thoughts were lulled into a quiet hum that accompanied the lullaby in the air. The only thing that would have made it better was Erik. As if my dream wanted to please me, an image of Erik appeared in my mind. He smiled his heart-pulling smirk at me. I felt myself become warm and fuzzy just from his gaze. As he floated over to me. Okay, why is Erik floating? I became interested in his eyes. My voice wouldn't come out, despite wanting it to say his name. But I wrapped my arms around his neck and pulled him close to me. He leaned into my embrace, ghosting his lips over mine teasingly. Such a tease. Was Dream Erik trying to seduce me in my own dreams? Don't put it past him. I mean, sure, he's changed since. He changes throughout his route in the first one to Mika. He changes a lot. He's no longer like flirting with everything in a skirt. He's focused on the main character. I pressed forward, wanting to kiss him. We both didn't make a sound, but let our kiss relay our love for each other between our lips. My heart pounded into my chest as he wrapped his arms around my waist and pulled me even closer to him. It was strange. It felt so real in my arms. I combed my fingers through his hair, feeling the pink copper strands on the top of his head. Yet this was a dream. I knew it was a dream. Time for another drink, because when I'm sick, I get a lot of... Yeah. His arms gently ran along my back and waist, not daring to go below it, but making wonderful shivers run up my spine with each stroke. I really liked this dream and tightened my hold on Erik to let him know that I enjoyed his touch. Erik eventually pulled away from the kiss and smiled down at me, running a hand over my hair and caressing my cheek. I stared up at him lovingly, feeling a soft swell in my lips from the kiss we had shared. What I didn't expect was him slowly leaning down and planting a soft kiss over my chest, just over where my heart was. I stared, unsure of why he did such a thing. As my heart began to feel warm and lighter, I let out a silent sigh out of my throat, feeling the pleasure of the sensation. Erik slowly backed away and disappeared, but I continued to feel warmth over my heart, sweetly emanate through my veins like a slow adrenaline rush. What was happening to me? Okay, I gotta get my things going nuts, and I will see you guys in the next episode where we continue this. Bye!